If you're spending thousands on Facebook ads and getting terrible results, it's not because Facebook hates you. It's simply because you're missing these three critical components that separate ads that flop from ads that actually make money. Now, the biggest problem is that most business owners think Facebook ads don't work because either Facebook is too expensive, their audience isn't on Facebook, or the common one, this is the common one, the algorithm is against me, right?
Mhm.
I love that one. But honestly, the truth is that ads do work really well, but only when your content follows a really proven structure. The Facebook platform doesn't care about your business. They care about keeping users engaged. So if you give Facebook engaging content, Facebook's going to reward you with cheaper ad costs and better reach. So this is the Core 4 framework. Now, remember, last week we talked about the offer, the O in the equation, all right? And today we are focused on element number 2, which is the content, y'all, all right? Now, content is a 3-part system that makes your Facebook ads actually work. All right. How many of y'all struggle when it comes to content creation and you just feel like, hey, I've tried to run Facebook ads. I've tried to do it all and I just can't figure out like what it is. I don't know if Facebook has something against me. Like how many of y'all feel like that? Here's the actual truth. It's not Facebook's fault, y'all. Okay. Stop blaming Facebook. The truth of the matter is this. You're simply failing to realize that Facebook rewards amazing content on the platform. So let's go ahead and jump in by defining what content actually is. So content is a 3-part conversion engine designed to move people from stranger to customer through a predictable and repeatable process. Now, I underlined predictable and repeatable because honestly, how many of y'all would love to actually create content easily and make it predictable and repeatable at the snap of a finger? Type "that's me" in the chat if that's what you want. Now, by the way, for those of y'all watching on YouTube, we are streaming in front of a live audience inside of the RFA Marketing Hub. If you do want to join the RFA Marketing Hub, go ahead and click the link below to get access, because at the end of this training, we're actually going to do a live Q&A, and we're also going to give you some really cool AI tools that you can use. You can find that in the link as well. Now, when it comes to content, there's different types of content. There's picture content that you can use for your ads, and there's video content that you can use for your ads. The content that we love to use the most, because we've been running ads for almost 10 years now, and this has proven to convert the best over time, is video content. So in today's training, we're going to be showing you the video content framework that you need to be using right now to actually convert better with your Facebook ads. In order to do this, you have to change the way that you actually think about content. And most times when I tell a client to create video content, the first question they ask me is, okay, how long does it need to be? And most people, that's the only question they ask. And they feel like, hey, if I can just create content, if I could just pull out my phone, create some content real quick, get my point across, that's all I need to do to convert. And that is the biggest mistake, because in all actuality, content is a 3-part system that we're going to go over today.
That is a very common question. How long should the videos be? Without a shadow of a doubt, this is proven that the length does not matter whatsoever, right? The actual video length does not matter. We have videos that we've seen that have crushed that are like 10 seconds. And we've also seen videos that are an hour long crush. So instead of asking, how long should it be? You should ask yourself, how long can I keep the user engaged? That's really the main question you should be asking, because you should never create a video longer than you can keep people's attention.
That's big. That is very important. Attention is the most valuable asset online today. And the more you can keep people's attention, the better it is. So with this 3-part framework, it's designed in order to keep people's attention to get them to actually convert. So now let's focus on part 1 of your content. This is the beginning of your video. It's called the hook. Now your hook is typically the first 3 to 6 seconds of your video. Like I said earlier, Facebook is a platform that rewards content that keeps users engaged. So basically what this means is that if you create content and within the first 3 to 6 seconds, you keep that user engaged, that's going to signal to Facebook that that piece of content you created is a piece of content that other users on the platform will enjoy. And because of that, they'll deliver it to more people. But when you fail to do this, it's not going to work. And this is why a lot of y'all might feel or see that your ads fall flat. So what I like to say is the better the hook, the bigger the look. So for instance, let's say that there's a fisherman, right? And this fisherman's goal is to attract the biggest fish in the sea. But when they went to prepare to go fishing, they were using bait that didn't attract big fish, but it attracts small fish. What do you think is going to happen when that fisherman who has the goal of attracting these massive fish goes fishing? They're not gonna get the result. They're not gonna get.
You're gonna have an empty bucket, bro. Empty buckets.
Exactly. They're gonna have an empty bucket, right? But on the flip side, if the fisherman prepares properly and actually puts the right bait on that hook, they're gonna get the big fish. They're gonna eat for months and months because they prepared the right way. And we want you to eat for months and months because you prepared the right way with your content, y'all. So this is what we're gonna focus on right now. Your hook determines how well your video is going to do. Your hook will also make your Facebook ad successful or break your Facebook ad. So let me show you what happens when you don't create a hook that is really mouthwatering and really attention grabbing. First thing that happens is your ads are going to cost way more. There's a metric called CPMs. And CPMs basically just means the cost per 1,000 impressions. So if you don't have a good hook, the cost for 1,000 people to see your ad is going to increase. So you're actually going to be spending more money on your Facebook ad simply because you failed to create a really good hook. Number two, your ad relevance score is going to decrease. Now, the ad relevance score is a metric that Facebook uses to determine if your ad is relevant to the target audience that you're actually targeting. And if you fail to create a hook that is going to keep people's attention, what's going to happen is your ad relevancy score is going to be lower. Facebook is going to deprioritize your content. And as a result of that, your content will not be seen by more people, and Facebook's going to tax you for it. Okay. So not only is it bad to not create a good hook, but Facebook's going to make you pay in more ways than one.
You guys need to understand how important that first couple seconds is. Actually, this is an interesting stat. And this is actually comes from like interviews from like the CEO of like Instagram, the people that are like head of these algorithms. And they said that your goal should be to get 90% of your viewers to watch more than get past the first 5 seconds within the first hour of you guys posting your video. And when you can do that, your video is way more likely to start going like viral and start like kind of picking up momentum. Now, I want you guys to start thinking about the way that you produce content right now compared to what I just told you the goal should be. Now, I want you guys, after this video is done, go back and start looking at some of your videos and watch how much fluff you put in the first 5 seconds of your video, right? Like most people start their video off and they're like, hey, what's going on, guys? So my name is Stephen Blackburn and I'm a marketer and I actually own a company called Rich From Anywhere. And guess what? The 5 seconds are done.
They're gone.
They're gone. And all I did was talk about myself and about things that no one cares about. So instead, prioritize what you're talking about strategically in those first 5 seconds, because those first 5 seconds are arguably the most important part of the video.
That's so good, y'all. Another metric that suffers from this is your impressions. So an impression is basically when someone sees your ad, and you're going to get way fewer of those as well. And the ones that you do get are going to cost more money. So again, the hook is extremely valuable. So now, instead of doing it that way, here's what you want to do. You want to focus on hooks that actually work. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 hook types that work really well, that we've seen do really well. Hook number 1 is the pain hook. So the pain hook is essentially where you lead with your target audience's pain point. And I'm going to give you some examples here in a minute, but pain is very attractive. Keep that in mind. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but pain is attractive. All right. Hook number 2 that works really well is the desire hook. This is where you understand your target audience's deepest desires and you address it in the first 5 seconds of your video. Okay. And then we have the authority hook. So the authority hook is where you're basically putting yourself out there as an authority in the space and someone that they should actually follow. So that's the authority hook. Now, let's go into an example of the pain hook. And I'm going to use us as an example. So we have a marketing mentorship company and we help students all over the world generate massive amounts of revenue through Facebook ads. But the difference with us is that we actually teach you how to do it instead of hiring an agency, right? So if I were to use a pain hook, I could use something like this. If you're spending $5K a month on ads and getting crickets, you're not alone. We've worked with thousands of people who've done the same thing, right? But the hook here is if you're spending $5K a month on ads and getting crickets. That's the hook, because we understand our target audience's biggest pain points. They don't want to spend $5K a month on ads and not get nothing. Like that's terrible, right? They don't want to do that. So because we know our target audience's biggest pain points, we're able to address that when we create our actual hook.
I don't know if you guys know this, but humans are born with 5 core emotions. And y'all should write this down. They are joy, anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. 5 core emotions. That's what we're all born with. It's like the original equipment, right? That we all understand from birth. Now, what do you guys notice about those 5 emotions? Joy, anger, sadness, fear, disgust. What do you guys notice about those 5? 4 out of 5 of them are negative emotions. So that means 4 out of 5 of the core basic human emotions that we are all built with are negative emotions. Well, that's the reason why humans are attracted to negativity.
That part.
And if you understand that it's not just random, that there's so much negativity spread on the news, and why negative reviews spread faster than positive reviews, right? It's not random that this is happening. So if you know that, well, then start using that to your advantage and start using pain in your hook. You are way more likely to get more viewers and more leads and more sales if you start using pain in your hooks as opposed to pleasure, right? Because people that when they first see you, first of all, like they don't even trust you enough to lead them towards pleasure, right? But they will trust you enough to lead them away from pain, because that's the way that we're wired. You know?
And that's why, my friends, pain is attractive. So if you're trying to target a cold audience of people that have never heard of you before, lead with pain. Now, here's the desire hook. What if I told you there's a way to 10x your leads without hiring an agency? All we've done here is because again, we deeply understand our target audience's biggest desire. Our target audience's biggest desire is to level up with Facebook ads and make more money than they know what to do with, right? And the reason we can say this is because we have clients that have actually done this before. They've 10x, 20x, 30x their ad spend. So that's why we can use this desire hook, all right? And then there's the authority hook. The authority is where you're putting yourself in the space of being an authority figure. After helping 500 plus businesses scale, here's what I've learned. And then you go in from there. But again, these are just different hooks that you can begin to utilize inside of your content. Obviously, we're talking a lot about hooks and how they work for Facebook ads, but we can show you better than we can tell you. So this is actually an ad that we ran a few years back with some of our students that are doing really well. They generated over $20,000 a month from creating effective content. But you can see here this ad that we ran. If you look at the social proof here, there's 700 plus comments. There's a bunch of likes. There's a bunch of shares. And guess what? When people share your video, that again is signaling to Facebook that this is content that people actually want to see, and your ad costs are going to get lower as a result of that.
They didn't come to us making $20,000 a month. They came to us making a little bit less than $5,000 a month. And within 3 months, we took them to $20K a month. And we didn't change their products. We didn't change anything about their business necessarily. We just showed them how to run ads effectively and get more people to see what they're doing. And it's like, it's so commonsensical sometimes. It's like, well, the reason why you're not making money is because no one knows who you are. Like, fix that problem and everything else will start like just fixing itself.
100%. So this is another one of our students that we're currently working with right now. And if you look at the data here, they got 53 comments, looks like 36 shares. This ad is doing really well. And again, it's doing really well because the content is really good. The hook is on point. They're doing everything they need to do in the video. And because of that, they've generated over 400 leads at 40 cents per lead. And it's all because of great content. And by the way, this ad has only been running for a couple of weeks now. Okay. And they're doing these numbers right now. So let's move on to step 2 in this framework. Step 2 in this framework is called the value bridge. This is where you build trust and establish authority with your audience. Okay. Now, again, the biggest challenge with content creation is actually keeping users engaged the whole time during your video. And here's why it's the biggest challenge. It's because people, me, you, everyone out here is bombarded with a sea of distractions. They're getting hit with ads from left and right. They're getting hit on their feed with friends' comments and friends' videos and the baby crying and the dog barking. There's this sea of distractions. But the goal of the value bridge is for you to build a value bridge that gets people over those distractions to the other side where you can actually pitch your offer. The way that the value bridge works, there's a specific method that we like to use in our content, and it's called the MAX method. And this is going to allow you to gain the maximum amount of attention in your value bridge. So here's how it works. Number 1, you want to mirror their current pain points or their thoughts or their past thoughts, right? So, and I'm going to give you examples of this, but essentially what you're doing is you're talking to them about their pain points that they've struggled with in the past, okay? Then number 2, you are going to analyze and break down what's really going on. And you're going to do this in a very matter-of-fact manner. It might be a harsh truth. It might be a hard pill to swallow, but it's going to get their attention and make them want to make a change. And once you have them at this point, the next part is for you to expand their vision. Okay, so you want to expand their vision by offering them a scalable solution. All right, so let me give you an example of how this works. So when we're mirroring, we're saying, hey, look, I get it. You've tried agencies, freelancers, maybe even hired someone in-house. So what we're doing right here is we're mirroring their past decisions. We're calling it out. We're letting them know, hey, we know you've done these things. And then we're saying, but here's what's really happening. So this is where we're analyzing what's really going on, kind of calling them out matter-of-factly, right? But here's what's really happening. You're treating marketing like a cost center instead of a business system. When you don't have control over your marketing, you don't have control over your business. So essentially what we're doing here is we're calling them out in a matter-of-fact manner, giving them like a harsh truth, a harsh reality in order for us to really grab their attention, all right? And then what we're doing is we're getting them to have that expansive vision. So that's when we say, that's why successful entrepreneurs are building lean in-house marketing teams that they actually trust, okay? So we're allowing them to have a new vision based on the success of other businesses that we've helped as well.
Before you go out of here, I think it's important to know, like when in that mirror section, when you're mirroring people, you got to understand that people only pay attention to things that are interesting. But in order for you to become more interesting, you have to become more interested in your clients. You have to become interested in their problems and the things that keep them up at night. Until you become interested in their problems, they're not going to be interested in your solution. So
100%. That's really good. Yeah, like you have to do that. You have to like the hook is good because you've gotten them in. But if you fail at the value bridge, then they're going to leave. And again, remember, the value bridge is designed to keep people's attention long enough for you to give them the call to action. And by the way, you can always start your call to action inside of the value bridge as well, just to keep them around to the end of the video too. So those are things that you can do. And we practice what we preach, right? So this is a particular ad that we ran for local events in our city. Right. So this particular ad is for a local event in Ocala, Florida that we did last year. All right. And I don't know if you can see this, but I want you to look at the number of likes in this video. There's over 1,100 likes for this particular video. And again, Facebook recognizes that and Facebook distributes it to more people. So the cost of this ad was way less. And because of that, we were able to generate $2 leads for a live event, which is really, really good. But again, you can see here, the social proof is here. This is showing you that this is really good content. The ad relevancy score was really good, which again brought our CPMs down, which is the cost to reach 1,000 people. So we were paying less to get more people to see our ad. So this should be the goal for your ads.
Yeah. And if you guys, by the way, if you're a local business listening right now, dude, if you're not running Facebook ads, you literally are leaving all of your money on the table. Like
Everything.
Local ads absolutely dominate. Every single time we work with businesses that are local based businesses that are like targeting specific areas, I feel like the results are even crazier, even faster, you know?
No, they are. Here's the honest truth. There's not a lot of competition when you're running ads locally, because there's probably not a lot of people in your niche that are considered competition that are also running Facebook ads. You have a really good chance to really stand out from the sea of other businesses in your area simply by running Facebook ads. This is another local event we did here in my hometown of Melbourne, Florida. You can see this one got 600 some odd likes. $4 per lead for a live event. And this follows the same exact structure that we're teaching you guys today. So you want to make sure that you are doing this. All right. Now, step 3 in the process, the step that most people forget in this process is the call to action. This could be the last 10 to 15 seconds of your video. But honestly, if you have a 10-second video, you just want to make sure you get that call to action in. Okay. It is very important. You cannot assume that people know what to do. Here's what most entrepreneurs do, right? They have their customers here. They've gained their attention. They've gotten them over the value bridge. Now they're here and they're like, okay, so I've recognized that you do have a place of business. But because you assume that the customer already knows how to get to your place of business and go shopping, you think that they have a straight path to get there. But in all actuality, if you do not use a call to action and be very specific with them on what to do, they're going to get confused. And they're going to be looking at you like this, like, huh? Like what? I don't know how to get to your place of business because you didn't provide me with a way to get there. You have to be very specific and tell people what to do, because if people get confused and they're unsure about what to do, they're going on to the next. They're leaving you alone, right? So you want to make sure that you stop confusing your customers. And instead, you want to do this. Number 1, you want to be clear. So you want to tell them exactly what to do. Be very clear. For instance, we have a free community called the RFA Marketing Hub. So if I'm doing an ad, I'm going to let people know exactly what I want them to do. Hey, join our free community. It's very simple. Book a call. It's very simple. Don't assume that because you kind of said the word but didn't say the word, that your audience knows what it is you want them to do, because they don't.
The other thing too is when you're giving call to actions, don't give multiple call to actions. For each video, you really should decide one call to action that you really feel like is the best one for that particular video and stick to that one, because as soon as you start giving people multiple directions and multiple things to do, now you're just confusing people, giving people too many options. And that has been proven to decrease your conversion rate. So pick one call to action and make sure you say it.
Say it. Don't assume. All right.
Because the real reason why we're saying this too is because we've had people go viral on videos and then didn't have a call to action. Like literally getting millions of views on videos, no call to action. So all that does is just accumulate a bunch of views, a bunch of likes. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't pay my mortgage with likes on Instagram.
No, sir.
Right? I can't feed my son comments and views. We need leads. Leads will grow your business, right? And the only way to get leads is to tell them. So I'm hitting on this hard for a reason. Again, it's commonsensical, but at least I said it. So now if you guys don't know, now we said it, it's not our fault, it's your fault.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. Common sense is not that common, bro. Once you tell people what to do, book a call, join our free community. If you just tell them that and then you end the video, that's cool. You kind of gave them a call to action, but you didn't complete it because you didn't use urgency or scarcity in your messaging. And if you don't do that and you don't give them a reason to act right now, they'll probably never act. They're literally going to twiddle their thumbs for eternity, deciding if it's something they want to do. So here's some examples of that. Limited spots available. There's only a finite number of spots available, so you need to take action right now. Okay, that's scarcity. Offer ends at midnight. This is urgency. This is time-based, right? So there's a finite amount of time for you to actually take action on this offer. And then number 3, you want to make it easy as well. So you want to remove any and all friction from the process. Simply say these words. Click the link below. Say it. You have to say these things. Now, let me give you an example of this, okay? Get the complete system that's helped 500 plus businesses fire their agencies and build profitable in-house teams by clicking the link below. Use code CONTROL for 50% off, but this offer expires Friday at midnight. All the elements of your call to action are in there. And again, utilize these 3 steps and you can see your ads do extremely well. And I appreciate y'all participation here in the chat, y'all. Now, obviously, we run these plays for ourselves and we help others run these plays as well. How many of y'all have heard of Myron Golden? Yes or no in the chat? Myron is actually one of our clients, someone that we run ads for. So what we did is we set up some campaigns for Myron for a live event, spent $7,600, generated almost $51,000 in revenue based off of this particular event. And now, I mean, we run ads for Myron every month for his challenges and we do a lot of cool stuff. But again, it's all because of the content. The content is the key. If you don't have good content, I don't care how amazing your offer is. It's not going to convert because you can't get people to go to the offer because you don't know how to create the content. So this is why this core 4 formula is so important, because all the elements of this actually work. What were you going to say, bro?
And this stuff works for anyone. I don't want you guys thinking, oh, well, the reason why these ads are working is because it's Myron, right? And no lie, right? No doubt about it that Myron is getting really amazing results because he is such a good content creator and he has a huge brand and all this kind of stuff. That is part of it. But don't fool yourself into thinking that only huge brands can get results with ads. It's not true. And this is not an opinion. It's a fact. We've had so many people come through our mentorship with no brand. Actually, there's been some people who've come into our mentorship with restricted Facebook ad accounts. They couldn't even log into Facebook. And we would help them get around and circumvent the process, get their ad account back up and running, launching their very first ad, and some of them getting 20x return on their very first ad. Hand on my heart. These are the things that are happening. So don't like talk yourself out, because I know from coaching hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that most people's worst enemy is themselves. Most people talk themselves out of success. They think that other people got something that they don't, so they don't put their name in the hat and they don't get the results that they should get. And their family doesn't have the life that they should have because you're over there doubting yourself, right? Yep. So just a really quick mental check for you guys. Even if you're just getting started, you can still get results with ads if you follow this content structure. And even if you've been running ads for years and they've sucked up until today, you can switch your strategy today and start getting sales tomorrow. Okay.
100%, y'all. So that's Myron. So here's another example of a brand that isn't big, that didn't start out big, but that's doing really well. So this is a student of ours named Cherie Wilson. Cherie came to us. She was making about 2K a month in her business. And after we installed this Facebook content strategy into her business and allowed her to start running ads, she started generating $50,000 per month. Okay. Per month. Now, we went over a lot of different aspects of the frameworks. We went over the hook. We went over the value bridge. We went over the call to action. And we used our business as an example for you. But how many of y'all want to do this the easy way? Type easy in the chat if you want that. Derek, I see you. I want that. Andrea, I want that. Shay, I want that. Okay, got it. So here's the deal. For those of y'all that struggle when it comes to coming up with like the right words to say, right? You struggle with like coming up with the script. We got you. So check this out. So for those of y'all that are on here today, y'all are actually going to be able to access this particular prompt that we're going to use right now. So let me bring this. All right here. So I'm going to show y'all this prompt. So this prompt is designed based off of our 3-part content strategy. So you're going to use this prompt, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing because it's a lot of words here. But again, I want to make this as easy as possible for you. All you have to do is enter in this information right here. Enter in the type of business you are: coach, consultant, course creator, service provider. Enter in your target audience, whatever the specific industry is. Enter the main pain point that they're going through. Then you're going to enter what their biggest desire is. Then right here for number 5, you're going to enter in the solution or your offer. And then the objective of the campaign. Whatever that is, you enter that in here for the objective. Then you come over to ChatGPT, and I'll show you for our business the way that we did this. So our business type is digital marketing mentor. Our target audience is business owners doing 250K to 2 million annually. Those are the people that we build in-house teams for. Main pain point, wasting money on effective marketing strategies. Biggest desire, predictable leads and revenue without agency dependency. That's what we do. Our offer, done for you marketing team build out. Our campaign objective, consultation bookings. Let's just say that it's that. Unique angle, we build in-house teams instead of outsourcing, or we teach you how to do it yourself. And then the urgency and scarcity element, only taking 10 new clients this quarter. All right. So now that I've input that, you're going to copy this. You're going to copy this from your document. You're going to paste it in the ChatGPT, enter that information, and then you're going to throw it in there. And then ChatGPT is going to work like magic for you, and it's going to craft a mouth-watering, desirable script that you can now use for your business. Remember, I just used this for our business. All you're going to do is input the information for your business, and it's going to give you the exact script that you need, y'all.
Like, here's the thing. We've been doing this for a long time. And I'd say like 6-7 years ago, a lot of people had excuses about they weren't good at creating content. And it was valid, right? Because they really did suck at creating content, right? But there's no excuses anymore. I don't care who you are, what age you are, what race you are, how you talk. I don't care. None about all those things are just excuses to me, right? And by the way, excuses are just expensive lies. I want y'all to say, instead, like anytime you start thinking of saying the word excuse, I want you to replace it with expensive lie. First of all, it's a lie because as soon as you said the excuse, you know it was an excuse right when you said it. You knew it was a lie right when you said it. The reason why you can't do it, why you can't shoot the content, why you don't, I don't have the right camera. I got a pimple on my forehead. All these things, they're all just lies. And it's an expensive lie because it's literally keeping you and your family from the life that they deserve. All these lies that you're telling yourself of why you can't get started, why you can't run Facebook ads, why you can't create content. I'm not tech savvy, all excuses. Stop telling yourself these expensive lies and your entire life will change.
So now that you have the prompt, guys, right? Here's what you do. Do we have anyone in here that struggles with like putting their face on camera? Like the script is cool, but you still have that issue of like putting your face on camera. Does anyone feel like that? Because if you are one of those people, AI has made it very easy for y'all to run this play and still do really, really well. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this script. All right. You're going to copy this entire script. Then you're going to come over to a platform called Mirage by Captions. It's changing the game. So the way that this works is you come to AI edit, and then right down here, there's this thing that says prompt or script. You're going to enter in script, and then you're going to paste the script right here. You're going to get rid of the thing that says call to action. You're going to get rid of this part that says value bridge here. All right. And you're going to have Captions create you an AI avatar. So I'm going to show you how this works. We plug in the script. Now, this is the crazy part. Once we plug in the script, we can then choose the AI actor that we want to use to basically say this script. This is absolutely insane, guys. So let's just say that we want to use this guy right here. Then we can choose a particular voice of the actor. We have Brandon, we have John, we have Jordan. So we're going to use Jordan. And then we're going to generate this video. Okay. And it's going to take a minute to generate here. I don't want to take up too much time here. But what I did before we started was I created another one so that y'all can see exactly how this works. So let's go to this one so that y'all can see this in action.
Still stuck paying thousands to marketing agencies that overpromise and underdeliver, yet your leads are still inconsistent? You're not alone. Most business owners doing 7 figures or close to it think the problem is their ad budget or strategy. But the real issue? You've outsourced control of your marketing to people who don't truly understand your business.
Yeah.
Agencies are built to scale themselves, not you. What if instead you had a lean in-house marketing team that actually gets your voice, your offer, and your audience? A team trained, built, and optimized to create predictable leads and revenue, without the retainer fees and constant guesswork. That's exactly what we help business owners do every quarter, just like our last cohort of 7-figure founders who now own their.
So y'all, like
that
this
sounds a whole lot like our business. Like that sounds
we might use that for an ad, bro. We might need to use that for
Here's the other thing too. So for those of y'all who are a little bit more attention oriented, a little bit more picky about AI voice, here's the other thing you could do. If it sounds too robotic and sounds a little bit too much like AI, then take the video, strip the sound, and then you can just record the actual script in your voice and then just add that audio on top of the video. Because honestly, like the video editing and all the B-roll and the captions, that's really the hardest part. So you could just throw your own voice on top of it and make it even more unique or custom, It's
crazy. Let's do a recap here. So you have the 3-part content system. You have your hook, you have your value bridge, you have your call to action. What we've done is we've compiled everything we talked about on this training into a prompt that you can use and enter your business information into that prompt. You throw it in the ChatGPT. ChatGPT generates you a script. You take this script, you throw it into Mirage by Captions. You select your AI voice, your AI avatar, and you run the play. There's no excuse for you guys after this training for y'all to start implementing this literally right now. There's the excuses are done, and our goal at RFA is to make life easy for you.
Come on.
So those of y'all, if y'all did find this valuable, I encourage y'all to join the RFA Marketing Hub if you haven't already. We do this every single week, and at the end, if you're part of the Marketing Hub, you get to join these Q&As as well. YouTube, for those of y'all that are in the building still, I'm gonna drop a link so that you can get access to this prompt as a freebie, but make sure that you join the RFA Marketing Hub as well, y'all. With that being said,
comment no excuses right now. Everybody comment no excuses. All the excuses are gone.
Let's jump into Q&A. We got about 10 minutes left, so we can jump in and answer some of y'all questions. So feel free, those of y'all in the chat right now, feel free to ask us your questions regarding marketing. For those of y'all on YouTube that do want to join this Q&A, you know what to do. We appreciate your time. But again, same time next week, we're going to be going into the Core 4 Framework Part 3, which is going to be the destination. So definitely stay tuned for that. A lot more gems to unpack for you guys. Y'all be blessed. Peace and love, YouTube.